About 365 million years ago, the second mass extinction arrived right on schedule. This time, the killer was even more bizarre. The oceans suddenly ran out of oxygen. The seas turned into a toxic green soup. Scientists discovered in rock layers that the ancient oceans were filled with hydrogen sulfide, something even more deadly than cyanide. In an instant, 3/4 of all species were wiped out, including the amphibians that had just begun adapting to life on land. Once again, Earth reset itself and reshuffled the game. Then something almost unbelievable happened. Around 300 million years ago, during the Carboniferous period, Earth became an oxygen-rich world. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere surged to around 35%. What does that mean? Light a single match, and entire forests could explode. In this extreme environment, insects grew to monstrous sizes. The giant dragonfly, Meganura, had a wingspan of 75 centimeters, larger than your iPad, and could fly at speeds of 40 kilometers per hour, like a true fighter jet of the skies. On land, things were even more outrageous. Arthroplura, a massive millipede-like creature, could reach 2.6 meters in length and weigh up to 50 kilograms. Covered in armor, it had no natural predators. In 2018, paleontologists in the United States found fossils of this giant creature, alongside crushed bones of small reptiles. In other words, it didn't just eat insects. It could have eaten your ancestors too. But the age of giant insects lasted only 50 million years. At the end of the Carboniferous, forests began to burn not small fires, but massive wildfires that raged for tens of thousands of years. Oxygen was heavily consumed, carbon dioxide filled the sky, and global temperatures dropped sharply. Within just 100,000 years, all oxygen-dependent giant insects went extinct. But that still wasn't the worst. The real hell began 252 million years ago. Deep beneath Siberia, a massive magma reservoir erupted. This event lasted for a million years. Lava covered 7 million square kilometers, an area nearly the size of Australia. The eruptions released enormous amounts of carbon dioxide, raising global temperatures by 10 degrees Celsius. Ocean temperatures reached 40 degrees Celsius, turning the seas into a boiling, acidic soup. This was the Permian mass extinction. Scientists call it the Great Dying. 96% of marine species and 70% of land vertebrates were completely wiped out. It was the only event in Earth's history that nearly erased all life. Recovery took a full 10 million years. But here's the twist. This destruction gave dinosaurs their chance. The small reptiles that survived the catastrophe rapidly evolved in an empty world, eventually ruling the planet for 160 million years. Until 66 million years ago, a 10-kilometer-wide asteroid slammed into the Gulf of Mexico at 20 kilometers per second. The impact flattened half of the Americas. Tsunamis reached heights of 300 meters. Dust blocked out the sun. For 2 full years, Earth was plunged into darkness. And just like that, the age of dinosaurs came to an end.